was about 16 years old, I was choosing a ringtone for my phone, and my friend was sitting there with me, and I decided on a Michael Jackson song because it was orange and it was a compliment to my blue phone, and I was like, oh yeah, this song matches perfectly, and he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, you're crazy, you don't see it. So I honestly thought that like there's no way someone didn't see that, because if they didn't have that, I thought that they were deprived of something, because it just felt so natural. So about at 16, I realized that it was different, and then luckily I was in psychology courses around that time and kind of stumbled into what synesthesia was and self-diagnosed it. It's a neurological condition in which your brain is kind of cross-wired. So the definition is that one sensory stimuli leads to another sensory response that's essentially, there's no connection naturally. And that can happen in a ton of different ways, and I have a few different forms. And so for me, one of my main ones is that whenever I listen to music, I see color. Get songs stuck in my head that I can just see the colors of, and I can't like relay that to anyone else and be like, that song, it's orange and it's got yellow spots. I mean, no one can relate to it. Even other people with synesthesia experience it differently. So it generally starts with me like in my car, and I'll come across a song and I'm like, I love this. And I'm like, let's turn around and go to the studio. Sometimes I sketch. Very, very rarely do I sketch. I'll kind of get out my color palette, the colors that I know are imperative to each song, and smush it all around and mix different things together to get the full palette, and then I just go straight to the canvas. I like to work in a wet and wet technique, so I can constantly be blending all around the canvas, and I try to do it in one setting. I used to do it in a more layered effect, and I would, spend weeks kind of going back in and adding different things, but as I've kind of developed and changed and kind of gotten quicker with the process, I'm able to have more blending incorporated. A lot of the time it doesn't work out. I'll throw things away all the time. I have a painting at KU Med right now, and they just opened up the new building and asked me to do a piece for it, and it was really a cool thing to see it sitting in an establishment like that, and kind of knowing the environment of what goes on there and having some sort of element of myself in there to hopefully calm people or make them feel like they're in a different world for a little bit is a nice thing to know.